Hey, so in this video, we're going to explore the idea of triad families and how students can use those to approach triads. Now, first of all, what I mean by triad families is in the previous video, we discussed students just learning the prime shape, so the most basic shape of the triad and the snowman position. And we also noted that that's really just about note heads on the staff, which is letter names, um, regardless of whatever flats or sharps are added to those note names. The basic triad is always going to look the same on the staff. So we're going to expand on that a little bit. What that means is in terms of note name combinations, there are actually only 7 different triads that students are ever going to see in music. And remember, this is without thinking about flats or sharps added to those notes. This is without thinking about all the different, positions of triads you'll see, or inversions, spread out, voicing. When you come down to the basic shape of the triad, there are only 7 different note name combinations. And they kind of sort into families. So what I'm going to deal with in this video is sort of the natural note content of these different triad families. Now, there are 3 note name combinations when all the notes are natural. There are 3 note name combinations that are going to be major triads. And that would be triads with roots on C, on G, and on F. Now, and you can hear that all of these are and so when you use the natural notes, the C triad, the G triad, and the F triad are all naturally major. Now, and students need to keep track of the root, the third, and the fifth, of course. So root is C, third is E, fifth is G. Now, the second thing is there's a naturally minor family, which is three more of the basic triads. So there's the D triad, so the DFA. And there is the A triad, so ACE. And the E minor triad, so EGB. And again, I'm just focusing on the idea behind this is the letter name combinations of notes. We'll modify those later with flats and sharps and see how they act. But there are 3 natural triads that are major and 3 natural triads that are minor. And the last family is B by itself, as is usual with a lot of theory topics. B is the odd one out. And notice that B is naturally diminished. So BDF, without any modifications by flats or sharps, that's a naturally diminished triad. So we're going to deal with that in its own video. We're going to cover that family in its own video. In the next videos, we're going to explore how transforming these families involves altering the shape in the same way for the same family. And we'll see what that means in a second. In the meantime, so some activities that I would do with students at this stage is I would just have students deal with note name content and natural notes only. So just quiz them on what note names are in a C triad, what note names are in an A triad. And you can also do the reverse. So you can give them 3 note names scrambled up, right? Not without listing the root first. And they have to practice sorting those note names into the basic triad shape. You can do the same thing with notation as well. That's a little more self-explanatory. But the main goal with all of these is to get students understanding the groups of note names that create these triads. So the idea that a C triad is always going to have a C, an E, and a G. The faster they can sort those note heads and think about the letter name combinations, the faster they're going to be able to find the root of any triad. And again, the focus is really on just finding the root note and then locating by extension which notes are the third and which is the fifth, rather than thinking about the quality of the triad up front. And that's also in the next video, we're going to explore more about how we use the families to help them remember spelling and the shape on the keyboard when we deal with specific major, minor, or other qualities of triads. Thanks for watching.